Watchmen.
So moving on to Watchmen, I did not like that show whatsoever.
I thought it was great.
I don't see a lot of people are saying that, and I've been hearing that from a lot of white people, and I'm like,
A lot of white people.
Are you just saying that because
they got guilt? They got white
you
guilt.
don't want to say that it's a bad show,
Yeah,
because you're gonna seem like you're racist if you think it's a bad show.
I think it's pretty. I think you gotta stay paying attention to it. Like you can't like passively watch it, or you might miss some stuff.
I start passively watching.
That's what I'm saying.
And after a while, and it was like after I just gave up on it, I was like, all right, well.
Did you finish it?
I finished the whole thing.
Okay.
And it got better towards the end only because it got to the point
Mr.
where
Manhattan.
I'm like, yeah, finally, this is the shit. It
you
don't even
watch
have to be Mr. Manhattan.
You want your. That's the thing. That's the difference.
It don't have to be that though. Like they went from, because I like keeping my racist shit away from my comic book shit. I don't need them to be like, let's put them in every fucking thing.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Like, keep my racist shit separate from my comic books.
Keep them separate. Man.
I think I know what you mean by that.
Yeah, and like, cause it started out with that, and it felt like it was let's make a racist type of show, like a show about racism, and let's just disguise it as Watchmen. That's what that first half was.
Okay.
It's a racism show that's disguised as Watchmen.
All right, how about this? Did you read the comic book?
Mm-hmm.
You did.
I haven't read all of it, but I mean, because the comic book is basically the same as the movie. The movie is like a different, like, because the director did some stuff differently, but it was basically like,
it's more or less the same.
It's the same. It's the same. He just went over the top a lot, like with the violence. And I don't agree that he knew. He didn't understand it fully.
Yeah.
Like that dude was just copy and paste. That's all. That's legitimately all that he was. He was like copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. And then stuff that he was like, I'm gonna go emphasize on this, was like the violence, because he made the violence seem like, ooh, look at this is violence. This is good, right? Like, and I don't think he understood what the message, the meaning.
There we go. That's what I wanted to get to, the message. I think Dave Gibbons and Alan Moore. The reason why this comic book was, I think, respected so much was because it was quintessential in storytelling in the medium of comic books, because it took itself really seriously.
Yes.
Right?
And I like that. It don't have to be all comic booky. That's all. Yeah, you don't need
that one. And The Dark Knight by Frank Miller are supposed to be the birth of the graphic novel. That's what they're considered in that era. It's like in the 80s and shit, where comic books stopped being for like just look, muscles, guns, blah blah, powers, and became like, yeah, have you thought about this though? Right. You know, a little message.
Because I do like them. I like Civil War, the comic book, because it was more political than comic-y and whatnot. So I like. It's not that I watched the show and I was like, where's all the like superhero stuff? No, it's not that at all. It's that it took a hard turn on just racism shit. I think I can explain. Especially that first episode. That first episode, it was just like gonna take.
I think it's so racist. It's not all. I mean, it's not like it stops in the first episode.
It does. But
episode 6 though. You didn't like it?
I mean, it's still racism stuff, man.
It was okay. So here's the thing. All right, okay.
I like that it was like it revealed something, but I don't even know if this is like canon to the universe.
So I'll explain it. So. I think in interviews with the director, he's mentioned when the creator for the show, his goal was his source material was the original book, right? Mainly. I think stylistically he might have taken some cues from the movie.
I felt like all of it was like, I did pick up on that. That was straight up comic stuff and not the movie.
Because the squid, that's in the comic book. It ain't in the movie. I mean,
I can see the squid, because the squid thing was a new thing. Like all that stuff that happened in that show was like new shit. But it was like,
it was in the comic book. The squid was in the.
The squid was in the comic book. Like the characters and everything, and like where the story takes place, it's like new shit.
Yeah.
And like, but like, what made me realize it's a comic book and not the movie was like how he dressed. Like I forgot the smart guy, the genius.
Yeah.
How he dressed. Yeah, he dressed from the comic book style, not from the movie style. Remember, he had a whole like different Batman armor. Like,
he looked like the Batman. Yeah, he had the little nipples and shit. The nipples. Yeah.
He was like, I'm Batman type of thing. Yeah. So yeah, I was like, this is definitely comic book and not the movie. So I separated from like how the movie was. Yeah. And it took me a minute to separate it.
So the original comic book, the intent of Watchmen was to tackle the most prevalent political issue happening in the country at the moment. When he was writing this book, people were coming out of the Vietnam War, and it was they were in the middle of the Cold War against Russia, basically nuclear warfare. They were like, they got nukes, we got nukes. Do it. Come on, I would like to see you do it. And then I'm like, bro, but if you do it, you're gonna fuck up the world, and people living in fear and this mistrust and that kind of shit, and just people like our control or like need to be so militarized and have these bombs will be our undoing. You know, they have the doomsday clock or whatever.
Okay, so you're saying at that time that's the problem.
That was the problem. And then in this time, this is the problem. So the guy, the director, was like, "Shit, what's plaguing America?" I'm like, "Yeah, we got wars, but we got drones now, and there's nobody's really talking about nukes like that. Although everybody's got nukes, we've all agreed not to use them because it's stupid." But I'm like, damn, when it comes to America, what kind of hasn't gone away? What's embedded in America? What's the societal issue? And then I'm like, so you start thinking, man, Trump, he became really racist. Well, he didn't become really racist, but his platform allowed that his ideas to be in a megaphone and people could gravitate. And sometimes people that gravitate are more like, you know, racist and shit. You know, they have like the people with the tiki torches, the alt-right people, like some skinheads, or you got like some neo-Nazi type shit. And then you got police shootings, you know, you got the massacre, you got like guns. And then you got racial tension because like I think people that study politics, they see that it's kind of like a pendulum, right? That it swings. I think, what was the last president? He was like Democratic. He was black. He was very like well spoken. Yeah. He's liked. Right. Okay. So it's like push and pull. You ever been in an argument with somebody? Most people, it's like a give and take. You know, most people are like, if you push too much for a thing, you're gonna get a bigger reaction. So the reaction kind of to a Trump, to an Obama type thing, is like a Trump type thing, you know what I mean? Like, because you have a lot of other people that feel underrepresented. You know, they're like, what about us white people? Like in the middle. That was terrible. But like in, you know, like you got like in middle America types of people in more rural areas that all. So a lot of these issues came up a lot more in the last couple of years than they ever have. They've always been there. Like racism, that shit has always been around. Yeah. But like now, people haven't seen Nazi marches since like Nazi shit. You know what I mean? People haven't seen like big movements of like KKK since like late 60s, 50s and shit. And then also the other one is political correctness, which I thought that was the most interesting one. Like when we were growing up, you could say, "Oh, that shit's gay," you know, or we call you from retarded. Faggot, that kind of shit. Right. I mean, we still do because we're
it's already embedded in us.
It's already embedded, you know. But not in public. Not
there's no when to say it.
Yeah, we know, and it's like, but let's say a kid that grows up now, like a teenager, they're like, "Wow, you guys are real problematic. Right. You know, you guys are ignorant." I'm like, yes, you know, but we're a product of that era, whatever. And we should work on that. But like a lot of people kind of apologize for what they have to say, you know. Like, they have to tippy-toe because they want to make sure they don't get kind of Me Too'd or whatever. Right. You know? And then, so, political correctness, right? So, that's why the president, in the comic books, the president was Nixon, which was supposed to be, like, a really corrupt kind of guy. Mm-hmm. And then this guy was, like, the Robert Redford was supposed to be a super hippie, kind of super democratic, and it gave their money back. It shows, it's like, it holds up a mirror to it. So, it's like, It's kind of like in South Africa. You ever heard of reparations?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like, if people actually got reparations, if, like, the government was like, man, you're the descendant of, like, these slaves and shit, and this country was built on their backs, and they were really short-sighted, and you're in poverty now because of a systematic oppression or whatever, and they were like, here's some money. You would definitely have a group of people. They could be white. They would be like, man, why the fuck don't we get money? Where do they get money? Everybody, that's human nature. We're just jealous and dicks, like, in nature, you know. Everybody's like, how come they get to eat and we don't, you know? And that would arise, right? So they're like, why should they do that? And then, so the guy who created the show was like, man, Watchmen was about the societal issue of the time. The societal issues that are happening now are like Republicans, Democrats, Trump shit, racism shit. How do I make that in a show? So what he did is like, okay, we need to have black shit in here, you know, because that's in the center of it, you know, people, right? I know you like hearing something, bro. I get that. I'm tired of these Civil War movies, bro.
Like on paper, it does make sense
it makes
to go in because at that time that's what the problems was, and at this time this is what the problems are. And I do get that.
You know, people shootings and stuff, and then people getting shot, and now we can see it because it's been happening, but now we can see it. You know, Trayvon Martin, all that type of shit, and then like. So this guy, the creator, was like, okay, I got that idea. Like, this is my idea. I want it to be about these problems, but the guy was like, I'm a white dude. So he's like, so he amassed his writer's room. His writers were like, I need to get the best black writers I can get. So he amassed a bunch of black people. And, you know, and unlike yourself, these motherfuckers are like down for the cause, you know? And then they were like, bro, we need to... But I think... Even though it was about that, it wasn't hammered, and it wasn't in my face. You know what Wait, I know. No. It's about. There's a difference between something being about a thing, and something trying to sell me the idea that they care about a thing. I'll give you an example. In Star Wars, in the new Star Wars movie, they had a scene where they just had. When they were celebrating, 2 chicks kissed.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Well, I did. And then I was like, that's fine. But it was not a part of this, kind of like the story. Like, it was more like inclusiveness. Hey, look, we support lesbians.
I think I did see that, and it just didn't faze me.
Yeah, or there's another scene which I kind of get, and where it's like in the Avengers, we talked about this in Infinity, what's the Endgame? You know, when they had the scene with just the chicks kicking ass?
Yeah. That was forced.
It was forced. It was badass. I'm like, shit, they get their little moment, and it's cool. I thought that's dope. But you do it for the people in the theater who are yearning for this representation, a little simple-minded. They're like, I just want to see bitches being bad, and I'm like, okay, but like, can we work that into the story? Can these just? Can it make sense why these are bad bitches? Nah, I'm just tired of us not being bad bitches. We need to see that, and I'm like. Okay, can you just write it in there, you know? And so there's companies do that too. Like, there's a lot of companies that product, like, in their advertising and in their marketing, they're like, oh, we are with the times. We support gay people. We support people of color. And I'm like, I'm glad that you do. But if you actually did that, you would put time and effort and write a story with that, not just like, look at it, you like gay shit. Yeah. You know, that's kind of what I'm talking about. So what I thought about this show was that all of the black shit that was in it made sense. Even though that it was black-centered or whatever, like, you go back, and especially when you get to the story about the grandfather and how you see how it's, like, it's systematic. Like, you're like, oh, this shit started from way back when, and it never got... It's like, it's a cycle. It's not... So the little kid, his great-grandfather... he was in the Tulsa riots, right? He grew up seeing his parents murdered on that Bruce Wayne shit. You know what I mean? And it affected his psyche. You know, he was like, fuck, he had all this anger. That's why he could be Hooded Justice when he grew up, and then he grew up seeing the image. So he yearned for representation that wasn't there. You know, he like clinged so much to like the characters that were there. You know, like he had the Reeves or whatever, not the judge. What was it? the Marshall. Remember that little? He used to watch the silent movie with that cowboy, and you see that happening with people like black kids or like Hispanic kids and shit, or like Asian kids. They're like sometimes they gravitate to what looks like them the most. You know, like motherfuckers. Not you. You'd be like, I like Superman. I'm like, well, Superman is some. I mean, he got black hair. At least he wasn't blonde. You know, like on that the boy shit.
I don't think that always brings people out though.
I know that's what I'm
saying. Black Panther was not like we know nothing. I'm not a king.
Yeah.
And like black people aren't kings and whatnot.
Yeah.
And like that's even before they even brought out Killmonger, and you knew that he was from the hood and stuff like that, and you didn't know like a lot of black people didn't know any of that stuff.
But they gravitated.
They gravitated because it was just a black superhero, and that was it. That's all they needed.
You just said it it's like a needed thing.
Yeah, you know that's all they need to come out. Like you can have a black person as a superhero, and I'm fine with that. Like you just gave me a black show where it's just like it's just some black people are in it. Like what is that? Cloverfield. Yeah. Oh, you never seen Cloverfield?
Can we go like Justice League, Green Lantern, and him being black? He just happens.
No. Because what I was saying, because Cloverfield was about about an alien invasion and stuff like that. Yeah. And it followed like white people and everything. But then the Cloverfield movie, which was a terrible movie, but I got into it because it was about Cloverfield, and it also had a black female as the main character. And I was intrigued. I was like, "Ooh, okay, this is pretty dope." They was going into space, and I think she was the captain. And everything. And I was already gravitating it because of that. Yeah, that's all that I needed. Yeah. It was a black chick, and they didn't make it where
did the space react really strong? Yeah. Did she get dry skin and she needed a lot of lotion? Because she got space ashiness.
But they didn't make it a big deal that it was a black female.
Yeah, that's good.
In space. That all it was just she was just there.
Just
and I was like, this is all that I need. I don't need for anyone to be like she has a crew member who's like fuck women or fuck black people and being in. I don't want to listen to you because you're in charge and you're black. I don't need any of that. Yeah. Just have the black person in
just
space.
Show it. I think that's. I agree with you 100% on that. I think the thing that is most what is it? One of the things that's most useful for affecting people's like mentality and like overcoming racism. Not that they are racist, but like sometimes you just grew up. Like if you grew up in a country, you ever seen videos of like black tourists going to Asia? And then Asians being like, what?
Yeah, I know.
Huh?
Yeah.
You know, like who looks like that? You know, and you're like, oh, and I'm always a little kind of like, I feel bad when people react too strongly to like people like those Asian people in those videos, because I'm like, bro, they've never seen any. You are so far from what they're used to.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, and to them it's like equivalent to like some alien coming down. It's like, what? You know, it's more like they're mesmerized or whatever.
I feel like a celebrity because like usually that's what I hear when like a black person say that they've gone to a different part of the continent where a lot of black people aren't at. They say like I feel like a celebrity.
Exactly. I saw on Reddit. I was reading Reddit, and then this guy he wrote about his experience going to Beijing, China. And then he's like, Beijing, China is kind of weird, but I'm always kind of careful because people, you know, react strongly because they're not used to me. But I had one of the most weirdest, kind of cute, like racist shit happen to me. I was on the fucking train, everybody's looking at me, and then this girl shoves her headphones right into my ears, and she's like, "I like rap. I like rap," and in like terrible English, and then she's like, "Okay. I like rap," and she's so happy that she's like, "I like rap," and she's like, "Look, listen," and I'm like, "Dude, it wasn't even a black dude, it was Eminem," and she's like, "I like rap," and like, and then he's like, and she just wanted to take a picture with him because he was black, a celebrity, and that's innocence, that's just not knowing. But what I'm trying to get to is that I think what's very useful is exposure. You ever seen little kids in kindergartens? They're like, "That's my friend." Little kids, if the kid is there, they'll play with that kid. They're just friends. You know what I mean? all this negative shit is learned. Like that.
Yeah,
race,
it is.
It's just learned. So I agree with you. The movie should just make the person black, whatever, and then you don't have to address it because it's so not a big deal.
No.
Like you and I are fucking you realize how fucking dumb it is. Like when you actually interact with people and you're like, oh, that's just a person, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's kind of, I equate it to, this sounds weird, and if I was on that PC shit, I would not say it. I don't give a fuck. It's like being friends with a burn victim. You know? You ever seen burn victims?
Yeah.
Yeesh. Yeah. They're hard to look at sometimes. They look like melted wax. They're like, oh, that used to be my face.
That's the only thing you think about.
Exactly. You talk to them, they're like, have their fucking faces falling off, or it's just like, as soon as they get a burn right here and it's on their neck and shit, and you're like, damn, and you're talking to them, they're like, oh, hi, how's the weather? I'm like, what the fuck happened to you? Like, that's all you can, like, really talk about?
Yeah.
And that's all you want to talk about. You're like, what? But let's say they're your buddy. You work with them. And you get over it, like in the first 3 days. You're like, oh yeah, that's burn victim.
First
like,
3 months.
Yeah, that's burn berry, bro. That's burn berry. And the first couple months or whatever, you're like, what the fuck? You fool, look at Spawn face over there, dog. And you're looking like pizza. And then, but like cafeteria pizza with those spots on it. And then, but you get over it, and then eventually that's just your buddy. That's just Barry. And he was always that. He was always just your buddy Barry, but you were just so caught up on like the physical differences that you couldn't look past that. And I feel like that's what people that are racist really need. Like in the American History X, my bro, you just need a black friend. You need to hang out, and you're like, not so you can say you have a black friend. You can be like, so you can say that dude is your friend because it's a friend, right. But that's like just lack of exposure. The fuck I'm trying to get to. The thing I'm trying to get to is that this show is not about that. I feel like where you and I are differing is like, this show is tackling an issue.
But it's tackling an issue.
It's not a superhero show. Yeah, it's a show about an issue using superheroes. Right. You know what I mean? You wanted a superhero show, and that's an issue show.
I just wanted a Watchmen show. Like it.
And that is. I feel like that's a pretty good Watchmen show.
I felt like I said, like even though the second half had Dr. Manhattan, I didn't need it could have been fucking Rorschach. Like Rorschach could have been back from the dead or something like that. Yeah. And that's all I fucking need. I just wanted a show that's about Watchmen to be about Watchmen. Like have actual issues in it, but it still feels like this is a Watchmen show.
What does Watchmen mean? You just want to be in costume then kicking ass?
Like it legit. Like you could have had that as well.
You want a little bit more of that?
I do a little bit more.
They had that, but not, yeah.
Like it was just too. Like the first half was just too racial for me. The first half was just, and then like they kind of tweaked it a little bit with that 6th episode. Yeah. Where it's like mostly racial shit, and then
Mr. Manhattan shit.
No, like not even like because then it was like one part of it was when she busts out of the what's called the store, and then it freezes, and then they're like talking like that is all that I need throughout each episode. Just some weird shit. And yeah, this is what makes it a Watchmen show. Just some weird fucking shit, and especially because it's based in present time, so we could have had. He had a lot of weird futuristic shit all up in this, and I just got basic racism stuff.
They had a lot of futuristic shit. I think like at the sphere with the glass thing, a lot of like how the city was, like the technology of it, like the little acorn seeds to find out what your race was or whatever the fuck your ancestor.
That's stuff that I like.
Yeah, it had a lot.
Even though that was like just more racial stuff, but that's what I'm talking about. I want to see tech. Like you're in a comic book movie. And even though you have like real problems and whatnot, but you're still trying to throw this off like hidden, still comic book shit. Yeah. Throw some comic book shit in there.
I think it had a lot of that. I think it was subtle. I think it was more subtle.
A lot of it was subtle. I would say, and I was listening and they were saying.
I think the titles are really great too. Like what is it? A god walks into a bar. Did you get that?
Yeah.
A bar. That's her last name, and a god walks into a bar.
And I did not even get that.
It's a joke, and it's because her name is Angela Abar, right? And like the joke, knock knock, or whatever. A god walks, like a guy walks into a bar. It's like a god walks into a bar, and it has like her full name.
Yeah, that's dope.
And he had like the whole thing about the eggs, the chicken or the egg, and time travel, and then at the end it ends kind of like the little Inception spinny top. That's what Raven said. Like, you know, like you don't know. Wait, she got powers now?
Yeah, I hated that. I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, me too. I knew it was gonna happen.
I knew it was gonna happen immediately. Actually, I was like, they're not gonna actually show if she got it or not.
I'm okay with that. I don't think it needs another season. I really hope
doesn't. But I'm just like.
I thought it was really good.
You thought, all right? Let's get into the Dr. Manhattan of it all.
Big blue dick, bro. You think that's his real dick?
Yeah, that's a real dick.
That's a good dick, bro. That's a nice dick.
I knew you was gonna get to that,
bro,
at some point. I didn't know it was gonna be right off the back. It was gonna start out with.
Everybody
dick.
talks about his blue dick, bro.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah,
I knew we was gonna have a discussion about the dick. Yeah. But I thought it was gonna be later on. You make a joke. You immediately start out with this.
That's the
Dr. Manhattan. Yeah, that dick though. Yeah. Was it real?
I got bothered by his big ass head though. He had a big ass head, and it's probably a skin cap over his hair.
Oh, that's definitely what it was. That's 100% what it was.
And I'm like, okay, I can get over like more like black features, you know, on his face.
I could not.
I was like, that's a little weird, but I like kind of how they did it and the voice and stuff. I do like the Dr. Manhattan from the movie better.
That's what I want. Like if you wanted to do where it was both of them, I would have been fine with that. I would have been fine that Dr. Manhattan turns into a black dude, and when he's a normal guy. But when he turns back to himself, I wanted that. Yeah,
I think for a TV budget, for a TV thing, I think they did really, really good. Like
I feel like they could have got him. They could have got him. There's a lot of different actors nowadays, and they're playing in fucking Netflix.
But it made sense.
Like I think they could have got it.
I think it's fine. I think I did. It was a little jarring at first to see him be black.
I couldn't get past that.
I couldn't get past it because I'm like he was because the way he was talking and like his motivations and that's Dr. Manhattan.
I didn't think that.
Think about this. Look, okay, yeah, he goes make life or whatever. And then that dude was like in the show. He had kind of like this disconnected, like bro.
He did, but that's what I mean. Like, I felt like what they did was the Dr. Manhattan thing, but it felt like a parody of him. It didn't feel like it was authentically. This is written to be Dr. Manhattan.
So it's Dr. Blackhattan.
No, because he was like he wasn't smooth with him being because Dr. Manhattan is an asshole. He doesn't mean to because his whole
he's just so like dope. I see everything all at once.
Yeah, he doesn't have his feelings anymore. He doesn't have feelings at all. And
this one was kind of smooth. I did think he was too smooth.
Yeah, he was. That's what I mean. Like he was
in the bar, bro.
And he was trying to be distant at the same time.
Yeah.
Because he gave facial expressions. I was like, Dr. Manhattan gives a lot less facial expressions than what he did.
That's true.
Like because at one point he would give like a little smile with a nod. And I'm like, Dr. Manhattan.
Oh wait, no, but they addressed that. They addressed that in the show. They were like, and that's after he fell in love with the chick. When he went to go see whatever Ozymandias, he's like you. She was like, you have a lot of imagination. He's like, you lack imagination, and he laughed. And dude was like, bro, you laughing now? He was like,
that's not. I don't see that.
No, and he made her know. He's like, bro, why, dude? That's not you. You know, even in the comic book, remember he was like, well, I don't know if it was in the comic book, but in the movie, he was like, he studied his slight facial expressions could tell that he was like breaking. You remember in the movie?
Yeah.
And then that's because like what you said, he's kind of like all like weirded out and robot-esque. You know, like he's not like kind of what do you call it?
He's detached from humanity.
Oh wow, perfect. Yes. Look at you.
Detached from humanity.
Yeah.
But I was.
You know what he's not detached from? That big ass hog of a dick, bro. He's not.
So I was like, like what made him act like this because he's with her? Like there was nothing because he was already with other women. He had 2 other females as he was Dr. Manhattan.
So I watched.
He started to get less and less. He started to get more and more detached from humanity, and then with this one, before he even knew he was already acting as if he fell in love with her and stuff like that.
Well, that's how he experienced his time, right?
But like in all I've never seen him act like that though. Like in the movie and in the comic, that's basically the movie. I'm gonna like attach them both to each other because they basically
they're very similar.
Yeah,
but,
very
but
similar.
I'm
but
like I feel like you need to go back to the comic.
He never acted as if he could see everything. He acted as if he even said like he can see I forgot how he phrased it, but he can see like a little bit ahead of time, but he can't see everything. Yeah. He never
of his own timeline.
Yeah, he never has explained that he sees the whole the whole outcome. He made it seem like from the comic books. I'm just going off. He made it seem like he can just see a little bit ahead of what's about to happen. He can tell. All right, I can tell that your master plan is this. I can't tell what you're gonna do 50 years from fucking now.
I think I know why he changed. Me and Ray were watching it, and it's like because he's dating a black woman now, and it's not a white girl. That's more powerful than any tachyon, bro. You know how the tachyon's fucked him up? That black woman sass? Bro, I know this firsthand, bro. Like, she was like, you know how she yelled at him? Oh, she's like, why don't you get off the pool, bro? She's like, get your ass off the pool. Like, and I was like, yeah, no. Like,
yeah, see, all
Miss Silk won't talk to him like that. What is it? The Silk Spectre?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not going to say that. She's like, hey, could
she
you...
She would, though. She was irritated by it. And that's what I took it as, is that she was going to have, like, their whole chemistry was going to be the same as his old relationship, where it's like the woman is like annoyed with how he. But
sometimes he probably grew. You know what? I think what they're trying to say is this dude. He was like, "Fuck humanity, I'm gonna go start some of my own." He went to, and what they're saying is they went to a planet and he started some weird. I think his creations were kind of lame, to be honest with you. Like his little droid people that serve. You know, the little butler people.
He tried to create
life.
Yeah, life as but he did do it in God's creation. So.
Yeah. I think I like how they explained that. I like how they did in the past. I really like that. Yeah. I think that's some good writing right there. It's also like symbolic with like Adam and Eve and shit. But like I think that I think what happened is he got bored. He got lonely and bored. This dude went up, created fucking life, and then he was just like, you know what? This shit ain't that cracked. It's not as cracked up as it, seemed to be originally. And he was just like, created life, and then he got bored, and he's like, bro, you know what I like? I like when I was like dating bitches, Damn, I'm gonna get me a girl. And he goes back to Earth, but he needs like a tough motherfucker. Like if you see like a trend, like his type seems to be like just like these fucking hardcore ass women.
No, yeah, those two. The first one was not a tough woman.
I think if you look at her time, because she was a scientist chick in the 50s, and she was the only woman working there. And then she asked him out for a beer. Remember in the show they have that?
Okay.
Remember she was like, here you go. Chicks back in the day, they're like, I'm gonna go bake a pie, and I hope you don't beat me. Like that. Okay. But she was like, here, I'm gonna buy this beer. What's up? Yeah. So she's, for her time period, she's kind of, and he left her because she was just kind of regular, And then he kind of needed to up the ante.
You're right. He did have a type.
Yeah,
that is a type.
That's a type. Him and I have a similar type, bro. I can't have no regular ass bitch, bro.
He does have a type. But his whole like I said, it just felt like it was forcing that he's detached.
He just went. He's like, bro, I'm gonna be black now. Like,
bro, not even that. Well, like with the I want to be on the top of pool. I want to be in the pool. Then I want to go and give me a snack. Yeah. And I want to it seemed like they was forcing him to be detached from humanity.
It seemed a little but he was gaining, he's rebooting. Remember he was like he was in the tunnel of love. You remember? You do remember?
But I know what you're talking about.
And he got out and he was just wait, what? And he
but it was not even that. It was before that. Remember he was telling her how it was charming, like you thought it was charming that I could see into the future. Now you're gonna like later on you're not.
I like when they have the fight. I really like when they have the fight.
I liked it and didn't like it at the same time.
I was just like, we're gonna have a fight. I'm like, no, we're not. And then he pulled out that like, bro, like you lonely as fuck. Like that one more, like, ooh, don't bring that up. Yeah. And then she's like, you know what, get the fuck out of here.
I liked it and I didn't like it. Like I had a love and hate thing for it because, like I said, it seemed forced. But I did like.
Did you like the writing of how they got together? I feel like you with the time. And then there was like
I liked the time that he was everywhere.
Yeah, and he was telling her like, no, but you will. Like he never lied.
Yeah.
He was telling the truth the whole time, and she's like, "Oh."
He doesn't lie. Yeah, he just sees the future, and he's like, "I know it's gonna happen."
I liked it a lot, bro. I thought it was a very deep show. I think it warrants a rewatch, like a rewatch. I don't.
I would not be able to.
I don't think it had. I think it's kind of like I agree. Maybe it could be as slow at times because it could have more action to keep more of my base primitive brain to be like, all right, show me some ass kicking because then I can be on board.
Yeah, that's what I could be on board with just that. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't need Dr. Manhattan. I just needed more than what
superhero shit. Yeah, like bro,
just more than what.
And there was a whole episode that was just that, which was the black and white one, where it was just like in
black and white one was boring as shit.
I thought it was dope, bro. Like with the time and like the dad. Like I like how they did that. You know, like how she was in his memories, his grandfather's memories.
I like that aspect of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like I like how they did and the colors, and she was like taking the nostalgia and shit, and she and how like she was inside it. I thought that was really cool. And I liked that every episode was different, you know. So it wasn't that formula. Like shit kept kind of like one episode is totally different from the previous one. Yeah, that's cool.
I like
and they maintain a tone. The last
I liked how they interpreted the Watchmen show, like how they had the show in the show. Yeah, and then like if you think about it, like how they played that scene. Where the dude with the hung man, like, when he came.
That's what you wanted.
No, that's not what I want. Okay. That was Watchmen movie. Yeah. And I was like, I wonder if that's how it is, like, in their world. Our Watchmen movie that we watched was that show. Yeah. Just longer and whatnot. Yeah. I wonder, because that whole thing was like, was Watchmen the movie. Yeah, that's true. Remember, like, when he smashed his head in and then,
that's true. And just the action of it, yeah.
All that was Watchmen.
And also, that's true. And the fucking, too, like, the butt fucking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, it was all way too, like, Zack Snyder, like, all 300, like, I'm like, okay, calm down.
I like that aspect of it.
You like butt fucking.
But I thought that was cool to show the Zack Snyder version.
Yeah, that's cool. A lot of respect to source materials and stuff was done before, and that's what, like, stylistically it drew upon.
Because technically that movie was bad.
Yeah, technically
it was bad.
I enjoy it.
I love it.
Yeah, I like it.
I could watch it.
I like it. I just watched it. I made Raven watch it so she could, like, get some context clues.
Did you make her watch the uncut version? I did not like the uncut version.
I got the uncut version. Yeah, it's just the same shit, just longer.
It's too long, though.
It's fine.
It is too long. Because I tried to have my neighbor watch it, and it takes her. She has a short attention span, and she's the type person where it's like, all right, get to the point. Like, it don't have to be action. It's just like get to the point of why I'm watching this.
Yeah.
And the movie in the uncut version, it didn't get to the fucking point of why this shit is going on.
I'm okay with that.
You need to be able, like, it's good.
Did you see that new Quentin Tarantino movie? The new Quentin Tarantino movie? No. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
No, I didn't.
You're gonna think that's really long. You're gonna. It's like, because I know how you wish it, and it's like, bro, it's like 90% of that movie. Only the end is like, oh, okay, and the end is dope. But I'm like, can we have gotten here sooner? What was all? But the rest of it, so you just feel like you're in the time of it, you know. So whatever.
That's cool. That's what would, like, catch my attention. But you need to, like, find ways of keeping my attention.
Yeah, and exactly. You need a little treat. You need, like, hey, can you throw a fight my way? Yeah. Can she just whoop ass? Can she kick the cavalry dudes, like, looking swollen shit?
Like that, or like I don't even know what all it was missing. It definitely was not. That was not Dr. Manhattan. I don't know what anyone says. That was a good version.
Yeah, that's a good version, Doctor. Yeah, no, I agree with this.
It was a decent version.
I agree with it.
Problematic. Yeah, but I don't think any of that was on the actor. Yeah, the actor it wasn't his fault on what direction they wanted Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like that's the only thing that I'm like, no, I think it's fine. I think that's the only thing that it seemed a little. Okay, you're really just trying to make Dr. Manhattan black now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the how you're like, come on. I was like, but I was okay with it. Because at least they were trying to emulate the character. Like, not that they did a great job, but they were trying to be like, you know how he talks and he's all weird.
But of course, they're gonna do that though. Like this is how, because they want to change. For one, they want to change all these superheroes black, and I don't know why. Like you got Magneto, they want to make him black.
He makes sense though. Well, I think they should have kept him Jewish because he makes sense. Jewish, yeah.
But you can switch it up and make it a racial thing.
It's a racial thing, but it's just which race.
Or you could still have black.
What if they make Magneto a Mexican like me? And then they it can be one of the kids that they put in the little jails or whatever. They're putting kids in like cages or whatever. Mm-hmm. You heard about that, right? No. Oh, what was the thing? So Trump, he started deporting people, right? Mm. But he didn't know when to send them because you have to wait to process them. And so the kids, they were in this, detention area. And then there's pictures, and then these have, they're in, a little cell. So, but legit, the pictures make it look like these kids are in cages. It's like a big cage, but it's not fit for a kid. Mm. And then the president was like, yeah, put them there, it's fine. And then when people got around to it, caught wind of it, they were like, bro, you're putting kids in cage? That's what we doing as American? Right. And I'm talking that little girl that we saw, little toddlers, a baby in a cage, And I'm like, well, daycare centers are essentially cages, but
but it's that is what do you put them in cages for? As if they're we got keep them caged up just in case they're gonna fucking attack us. It's a child.
Yeah. No,
you can put them in a room and just so you said a little daycare until you're ready to deport them. Be all right, let's go.
But
you don't need to put them in a cage.
So they looked really fucked up and really sad. It just looks sad.
So
right?
you don't need to put them.
Yeah, exactly. That's everybody else was whatever. I grew up and I grew up with some fucked up shit.
Yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah, no, I was just don't get over it. No, and I'm Mexican, bro. I'm just I've been in worse, and I'm that's not that bad, But it looks really bad, But what if Magneto is one of those little? He's a little. I think when I watched it, remember watching Logan, and then they're trying to cross the border. And then my dad called them X-Men because they're Mexican X-Men because the little kids, they got little powers and shit. The ones that are trying to cross to Canada, a lot of Hispanics, they were from Mexico. They got shit. And then so what if Magneto's orale, bro, you kill my parents and shit, that's not cool. And he's breaks out. He's I'm gonna fuck you up, puto. Me and my boy Xavier, dog, we gonna fuck you up, I don't know why he's gangbanging from LA, but that's what he talk. Yeah. So I got distracted.
Yeah, you did. But you got Black Magneto. Yeah. You have who else? Is,
Black Neato.
Black Neato. Well, who else do they have? They're changing Catwoman into being black.
Halle Berry.
Yeah.
I remember Halle Berry was in the Catwoman.
She was.
I'm okay with that. She was black in the TV show.
I'm talking about the new one that's coming out.
I'm okay with that.
She's a black chick.
That's fine.
It's multiple.
Human people, I'm okay with. Powered people, who. I think most people. I think that's going with it. Mm-hmm. Most people can be. I think most characters.
You already know.
I already know. No, but I feel you're gonna like where I'm gonna take this. You're gonna like where I'm gonna take this. I'm I think most characters you can kind of switch up the race and it's not that big of a deal. Because it shouldn't be, right? But you're never gonna get a white Blade. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
If it was truly fair,
right.
Where's Asian Blade?
Right.
He's already kicking. Got katanas and shit.
I've said that before, and someone kind of shut me down with
That's what I'm saying.
Someone shut me down because it was because there's already a good amount of white actors and characters and whatnot, and there's not enough black people. So it's you can't go backwards into it. You can only go forward into changing a white race into a minority character. You can't change a minority character into a white race because it's already a shitload of white race.
It's an indiscrepancy. There's too much of
it. So I was yeah, you're kind of right. You're kind of right with that. Yeah. And that's why I was I do think you should have more than just black characters. It shouldn't be where it's the only race besides white is black. You do have Hispanics, you do have Indians, you do have Asians. Where's all these characters? I would like to see
they're doing that. They're doing
Asian Wolverine.
But I had racist. I'm gonna say it, bro. You be you got chopsticks. See, and that's problematic, but that's funny to me.
Well, yeah, like I don't like changing races. I want to add more minorities, yes, but like add more of the characters. There's a lot of Marvel and DC characters that are black, and they keep choosing to. Oh, I was thinking of Superman. Superman, I want to have Superman as black as well, with Michael B. Jordan, and but you can just have other characters that are black and put them into the light.
Yeah,
it was like I even had an argument with a coworker because she said like, nah, if I want my kid to dress up like Ariel for Halloween, she like, I want a black Ariel. Like, why can't she dress up? I was like, why can't Ariel just have like a best friend that is black?
Token black? You want a token black friend?
Yeah. And no, like the move, cause like they're talking about with the movies, and I'm like, why not just have Erica as a white chick? Yeah. And then like have the story follows her black friend. Yeah. And then go off of that.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, like, you can just go off. It can be the exact same shit. I mean, for one, Erica's sisters, there was a shitload of sisters. Yeah. They're all like was little princesses. They were different colors. Yeah, they was in there, and so you can have a whole other character and just have that be.
And they're freaks. They're all fish people anyway. They're all like they shouldn't have rights. We should kill them and grill up the bottom half. Mm-hmm. You know,
that makes sense.
And then we could use the top half for like sexual stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, you can have
they probably stink,
like though. New characters that are black. Like if you thought that way of just changing a white character and making them black, then we wouldn't have Black Panther. Yeah. Black Panther wouldn't be a fucking thing because we would have just like changed Wolverine into a black character or something like that. Yeah. No, like you got like add more minority characters, but existing minority characters. Don't change the race.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Don't change.
I can see that.
And like I said before, like Dr. Manhattan.
Let's think about black. Has there been a good race switch that you're like, I'm not bad at that? I feel there's some on Krypton.
I mean, yes and no, because it's still like.
No, let's think of some examples.
I can't say. I mean, most of them that they changed black was like a side character, like Perry White from Superman.
He's Barry Black now.
Yeah.